Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. Can you see those dolphins playing in the surf? Well, they're more like feeding in the surf. We've got the surfers out here. It's a beautiful morning, a little bit chilly, and there's a slight breeze blowing. But man, what a day it was yesterday in San Diego, California for Day at the Docks. I want to thank each and every one of you who went out of your way to come over and say hello to yours truly. I want to really thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to us, as does your constant support and the huge numbers you're helping us put on the board with our statistics. We owe that all to you. Is that a raindrop I just felt? Feels like it's starting to rain a little bit here. I think it is. I better get going here. We got so much to talk about. Limits of Yellowtail. There's kelp paddy Yellowtail. That idea that we have been postulating to you all year long, that we're going to get an influx of Yellowtail, seems to be happening slowly but surely. Limits of white sea bass for at least one boat. We'll talk about that and so much more. Let me shut my trap before this rain gets too heavy and get rocking and rolling here. You know what's next, the MB. I'll be right back with that and lots more. Before we get started on today's morning briefing, don't forget, if you're headed to Ensenada, you're going to want to give Zeke Casas a call. Only 15 minutes from downtown, but just check out that spectacular view while in Ensenada, Baja California Norte. And if that garage door is giving you a problem, then you're going to want to call your garage door man. That's Joe Welker. Tax problems? Nobody better than our friend Tim Marquez. Tim's been doing taxes for 35 years. Give the tax man a call today. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, you're going to want to talk to our dear friend John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. Hey, great to be with you, my friends. You know what time it is. We've got the surfers. We've got dolphin playing in the surf. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, is that good? And was it great to see so many of you at Day at the Docks in San Diego, California yesterday? To each and every one of you who went out of your way to say hello, I deeply appreciate it. Hey, there's a little bit of cloud cover and I do feel a few raindrops, so I forego the cap. I didn't think the glare would be so bad on my bald head here this morning. Hit that like button, share these videos with a friend, subscribe to the Freemon Adventures YouTube channel, and don't forget, tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content available. You can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. So much to talk about. Kelp paddy Yellowtail, white sea bass limits. We've also got some information on some boats that are offshore looking at kelps as we speak here this morning. So a lot of great stuff going on. Don't forget the El Patron out of beautiful Long Beach, California. She's getting new engines put in, so she's not quite ready to go. In fact, we have a Friday charter on the El Patron that's going to get postponed. I'll be reaching out to you, or if you're on that trip, send me a text, 657-227-6459. We're going to do a reschedule, but the El Patron, if you want to get more information on that beautiful rig, you can go to www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Huge night tonight on Tackle Shop Confessions. Not only, it's live at 6 p.m. right here on the Freemon Adventures YouTube channel. Not only will we be doing our usual show, but Brian Wynn, fishing expert, dear friend of the Freemon Adventures family, will be joining us. He's so knowledgeable and he's such a great guy, and you'll be able to ask him any question your little heart desires. And also tonight, thousands of dollars in prizes. We have a great giveaway. You can participate. All of the proceeds are going to go to our dear friend Chris Navarro and his little brother who just had a stroke recently. And in support of him, the Freemon Adventures family is going to come together and do something really beautiful tonight. You can purchase tickets for $5. I'll be reaching out to many of you, but if you tune in at 6 p.m. tonight, you get all the details. You'll be able to get into this great giveaway, and then also you'll be able to win big and at the same time help Chris and his brother. It's going to be a beautiful night tonight on Tackle Shop Confessions. All right, let me talk briefly about Mexico because I want to get into this kelp paddy yellowtail situation out of San Diego. I like what is happening out of SD right now. Just that flow of yellows we've been talking about. Cabo San Lucas, some marlin starting to show up, rooster fish along the beach with sierras and yellowtail, amberjack, also some yellowfin tuna offshore. Yellowtail continue to bite in La Paz and Loreto and Mulaje. Up in San Quintin, we've seen some yellows from time to time. At times, it's all rockfish there. At other times, there's surface fish biting, or I should say, a yellowtail biting the surface iron down there. They're up in the water column. They're active. It's really good to see. Ensenada, we continue to see some pretty darn good fishing going on there on yellows, but it's not consistent. It lacks consistency for sure. More calico bass, more sand bass, a few more halibut being taken, especially inside the bay. That has been really spectacular at times. And also, we continue to see tremendous rock fishing going on. It really has been good. Speaking about Mexico and the United States, well, I just want you to know that the claw machining games, Paulina versus the Gringo, I am still in the lead. We had a bitter contest yesterday at the Denny's in San Diego, but I prevailed. Well, I didn't exactly prevail, but I didn't lose. It was a tie. Let's call it a tie due to some really bad luck on the claw machine for Paulina yesterday, but I was able to do pretty well, and we still lead because I won Dan and Ensenada in the claw machine games. Just thought I would bring you up on international relations between the United States and Mexico and Paulina and the Gringo. So I just thought I'd bring you up to date on that. Let's talk what's going on. 2-day trip on board the Intrepid, and they made that trip with the great folks from Angler's Choice in San Diego. If you get a chance, go on by Angler's Choice, see Luke, see the great people there. Man, they got all the tackle you'll need, and they do such a fantastic job. Anyway, they're on a 2-day trip, and they don't see anything with regard to bluefin tuna. Very little signal. And I'll get into the bluefin situation in depth here in just a moment. But they started to look around, and they started to find some kelps. And guess what? The kelps were holding. The yellowtail were biting. They end up with limits of yellowtail, which is some darn good fishing, biting the bait. 25, 30, 40-pound fluorocarbon, a good hot Dean. They'll bite the iron on those kelps also really well. But it's so good to see the Intrepid and Angler's Choice showing us that there's some yellows on the kelps, and they're nearby. How nearby? Well, how about the full-day boat? That's a boat that leaves in the morning and comes back this very evening. The San Diego out of Seaforth Sport Fishing offshore, looking at kelps right now. Fingers are crossed that we're going to have a special update for you in just a little bit, because they are looking, and that tells you that those yellows on the kelps are, you know, at the furthest 45 miles, probably closer than that. Good signal, really positive things happening with regard to yellowtail, which we have been talking up for quite some time. We've been talking about all the yellows in Mexico and how we see that line, that progression of fish moving closer to the United States. And as the La Nina now is out of the picture and we're in a neutral kind of oceanographical period right now, in other words, not really hot water, not really cold water, just kind of neutral. Waters are starting to warm up. We had a south swell here. That is all positive. And I think that's why we're seeing those yellows on the kelps. And I think it's just the start of a beautiful yellowtail season here in Southern California. We made reference to the bluefin and the fact that the Intrepid did not see much. And I'll tell you, while we have been seeing some bluefin tuna by other guys, they just don't want to bite. In fact, most recently on the Polaris Supreme, and they're out right now, so hang on. Who knows, maybe Aliar will come up with some fish. But the Polaris Supreme stopped on fish during the daytime. At night, 100 to 200 pound bluefin tuna is what they look like, but we could not get a reaction out of those little devils at all. Same thing over there on the Pacific Voyager. Max just ran a great trip, 142 lingcod on that trip. Fabulous lingcod fishing. He had 6 yellowtail, but bluefin few and far between. So hang on. You know, we kind of saw this last year, and then all of a sudden it was game on as we got a little bit deeper into spring, and then ultimately in the summer it was really good fishing. We're hoping this is what we're looking at. Some people continue to say cold water, anchovy, we're switching over to albacore. We don't have to switch over to albacore. They both have coexisted together in peaceful time. So there's no reason why we can't catch bluefin and albacore. Don't push the panic button. Here you'll be looking back in September saying, wow, another great bluefin year. But they are few and far between right now. San Diego offshore, fingers crossed that they're going to come up with something really, really good. And we'll be watching that for you very closely. Hey, the Island Spirit up there out of Ventura is going to start running some halibut-only trips. You can get information on that. And they also have great rock fishing by calling 805-676-3474. Or you can go to venturasportfishing.com. Speaking of rockfish here in Southern California, we continue to see really excellent rock fishing up and down the Southern California coast. It has been absolutely great fishing, whether you're on a half day or a 3/4 day. There's been a lot of vermilion rockfish. The rockfish bites been spectacular, and the lingcod fishing this year, it just seems to be off the hook. In the Channel Islands, we've seen some great fishing down south of the border. We just mentioned Max. He was fishing down there at about 130 miles. He's had some really outstanding fishing, so it's been great up and down the coast. The Monte Carlo over the weekend, they had a lot of people on the boat because a lot of people are interested in getting out for a day on the water, and they did pretty well on that fish also. So really good stuff going on, no question about that. And the rockfish bite just continues to get better and better and better, it seems like. And part of it is that ocean, that Eastern Pacific you're looking at right now. It is calm, it is beautiful, and you know what that means? That means you're going to be able to get out and fish that, not get all tangled up, and have some really excellent fishing. So great stuff in terms of our rockfish bite here in Southern California. You don't see that slowing down at all. And there is nothing wrong with going home with all that delicious rockfish, whether you're going to make ceviche or fish tacos. I mean, it's so versatile in terms of what you can do with it in the kitchen. Great stuff. All right, so several developing stories. That rockfish bite, still fantastic. We've got yellows on the kelps. How about we switch over and talk white sea bass for a moment, because the sea bass bite on the Endeavor with our friend Tucker McCombs, 16 guys, 2-day trip, 32 white sea bass for limits on the WSBs. Nice hit for Tucker. Not a big deal. I mean, what I'm trying to say is not a surprise, because Tucker is one heck of a sea bass fisherman, and we've seen some periodical good hits up there in the Channel Islands. Overall, it was a tough day for white sea bass yesterday, but I'll tell you, private boaters James and Lorenzo Marcial right out of Huntington Beach Harbor here, they went out and they ended up catching their limits of white sea bass. The Amigo had 2 white sea bass. There's still a lot of it around. And I was talking to Steve Bugman Duncan at the Day at the Dock celebration, and Steve's been in on some really outstanding white sea bass fishing here recently. He said it's been spectacular at times, and the fish, they are real slugs this year. We have seen some really big sea bass, no doubt about that. So really good stuff. Sea bass and kelp, paddy, yellowtail, we are loving that very, very much. I want to go back to the rockfish thing for just a moment, because Bobby McDonough, Carrie, who is an ER nurse at Ventura County Hospital, where Connie, my niece, is a doctor. What a small world it is. They were on the California here recently, and they put the wood to the big quality rockfish. They caught a lot of really big rockfish. That is great. And Bobby, I love you, man. Keep up the great work, not only fishing, but in school, and just being an outstanding kid. Man, it was so nice to fish with you and Carrie and you, Bob, and everybody else on board the Island Spirit the other day. Had so much fun with you. It's so good to see that you had a great day on the California out of Ventura Sport Fishing. Good stuff indeed. Don't forget, there's a Grunion run here tonight and tomorrow night. 2 more nights to go, observation only. That's going to get this surf fishing bite going. I'll talk to you about that in a moment. The Coral Sea up there out of Santa Barbara for halibut, 13 lingcod, and we continue to see some great fishing up there in San Francisco. More and more halibut biting up there. We're also seeing some tremendous fishing on stripers up there. Their season is just coming together. I'm loving what is going on up there in San Francisco, Morro Bay, Avila Beach. Tremendous rockfish and big quality fish. That is also fantastic stuff. So really, really good. The El Dorado was out at San Clemente Island. I believe that was an island fishing tackle trip, and they had a smattering of shallow water rockfish, sheephead, and all of that. Sounds like they had a fabulous trip also. Don't forget tonight, 6 p.m. live. Brian Wynn, Sam De La Torre, yours truly, in a huge raffle to support our friend Chris Navarro. It's going to be great. Man, I want to see you take home some great prizes. And it's going to be all in support of Chris and his little brother, who really needs us to come together for him right now. Don't forget, our El Patron trip Friday is getting postponed. You're on that trip, send me a text. I'll be getting to you tomorrow, more than likely, and then we'll have a rescheduled date and get you tuned up on that. So really great stuff going on here in SoCal. I love that sea bass bite. I really love what's going on with regard to those kelp paddy yellowtail. That's looking good. Here in the Southern California surf, we are seeing some much better fishing due to that south swell and that Grenion run. The two of those things are colliding. There's more corvina here than we've seen for a while. There's some really good yellowfin croaker fishing going on. Down in San Diego, we've seen more halibut also. And then here in Bolsa Chica, there was some good yellowfin croaker and some spotfin croaker down by the tower, Anderson Street and Pacific Coast Highway. Right down there, there's some spotfin biting. If you take a worm and cast it out as far as you can, that's really been the best way to make it happen. More halibut in the surf and a lot more activity with leopard sharks and butterfly rays and all kinds of predators that, of course, come in here. Don't forget Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, right up here on the corner. They have all the bait and tackle. They give away a free surf fishing rod every single month. It's fantastic. Go in there, mention Freemon Adventures, get your surf fishing ruler, and participate in this great fishing up in the Santa Monica Bay. We continue to see some really good halibut fishing at times. Lucky crafts and chrome crocodile lures work really good. And a lot of yellowfin croaker up there around El Porto, down by the Manhattan and Hermosa Beach Piers. There's sand crabs manifesting themselves, and a lot of corvina in there in that area. The Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club, Chuck Zimmer from Z Custom Rods. They're putting on a huge, beautiful surf fishing derby. There's some of the details. All you got to do is scan that QR code, sign up, and you get all the details of what's going to be a fabulous week, culminating in a great barbecue. That's going to be a lot of fun. The Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. You're going to want to participate in that. There is no doubt about it. All right, we're going to be watching these kelp paddy yellowtail. We're going to see what gives with that today. Can the San Diego make a catch? Will there be more white sea bass? And of course, tonight live, 6 p.m., we're going to do Tackle Shop Confessions with Brian Wynn, with Sam De La Torre, with yours truly, and with a great giveaway with thousands of dollars of rods and tackle, all to support Chris Navarro. Don't forget our El Patron trip Friday. Postponed. If you're on that trip, my friends, contact me and I will contact you, if not today, tomorrow for sure. Have a great one. Always great spending time with you. To all of you who came by at Day at the Docks, really fantastic spending time with you. And I hope to see you really, really soon.